Social with me, Dan, Sam, and Shreyas. Listen, lads, the sport over here has been dry as fuck. So the lads in India, I'm gonna have to ask you to give me something from cricket or something because there is nothing over there. So just how is the Test cricket going? Are India winning? I know some people are not. Well, most people are not tuning in for cricket, but we got to speak about something. So we'll start with that, and then we'll get into the topical stuff, and then we'll do a Q&A. Just are you winning?
Yeah. Right now, so we scored 471 in the first innings. You guys scored 465 in the first innings. So we had a lead of 6 runs, and right now we are batting on 67 runs. So we are ahead by 73.
Oh, so there's currently a game ongoing right now?
Yeah, it's on right now.
Why have we not done a watch long for it?
Nick,
All four of us.
Nick, Test cricket games go on for 4 days.
Yeah.
5.
They go on 5 days.
5 days.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm surprised you know that, being the cricket expert
entire...
that you are, Sam.
Do you want to do a watch along for that long, Nick? 5
days. It would still be probably less painful than a United watch along, wouldn't it? To be fair. Dan, are you much of a cricket man yourself?
I am, but I have moved towards that 2020 rather than waiting, kind of 5 days to see the results. But I see the scores here and there. Yeah. So maybe ODI, one-day cricket sometimes. But yeah.
So is 2020, is that like the TikTok version of cricket, basically? Just like the quick kind of quick fix?
20 overs and then you're done. It's nice and easy.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Imagine
so you get to see more.
Imagine football having like a 90-minute game.
One person at a time, please. One person. One person. This is how it works. Not everyone can speak at the same time. Go on, Shreyas, you go, and then Dan, you go. Bloody hell. You've been doing this for 2 years now.
Imagine having one game of football for 90 minutes, one for just 30 minutes, and one football game dragging on for 5 days where you play a 100-minute football game every single day.
No, I can't be doing that. 5 days.
Imagine watching United play the shittiest games for 5 days in a row. Imagine.
No, I can't
the thing is, United squad won't last for 5 days.
No, it wouldn't. Everyone would be broken. Yeah, that's mad. 5 days to play out a fucking game. Yeah. Like, how do you generate interest with that? And it's a heavily followed sport as well in cricket.
Yeah.
Like, especially it's mega, isn't it?
I think the stadium is sold out today as well.
Wow. Okay.
In Leeds.
I think across the world, football is number 1, but I think cricket is like close second.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
NFL, NBA, cricket, football, Formula 1 are all kind of like up there, aren't they?
Rugby as well.
No one watches rugby. Rugby's the worst. In fact, that's what we could do, lads, to start off with. You just give me a sparks an idea. We will get into the news. So for anyone watching who's interested in the news, we'll speak about Mbeumo. We'll speak about Sancho to Turkey, the goalkeeper update on both Onana and Bayinde, and we've got a Q&A with Sam towards the end as well, which we've asked for some questions to be chucked in. So we'll get into that momentarily. But you just sparked kind of a thing in my brain, and I've seen someone else do this. I can't remember who it was. Top 5 sports ranked. Yeah?
I personally like.
Yeah, that you personally like. And we'll try agree on some in some...
By the way,
go on.
There's a comment for James McGogan. 5 days in Hoyland still wouldn't score.
Yeah, he's right. He's right.
Good comment.
Yeah, he's spot on. So top 5 sports. What would you rank? So Sam, give me yours.
Football. Obvious one.
What a surprise.
I know. Does pro wrestling count? Is that a sport? Do you count that as a sport? Or is it entertainment?
It's a bit of both, isn't it, really?
You know what I mean?
It's a bit of entertainment.
I'll let you have wrestling.
I'll let you have wrestling. It's athletic, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's definitely athletic.
MMA. Very interested in that. Skateboarding is a sport because it's in the Olympics.
Officially now it is, isn't it?
Yeah. And I don't really follow. I used to follow ice hockey, so I do have a bit of interest in ice hockey, but I don't really follow it.
Ice hockey,
anymore.
that is a throwback.
Yeah.
That. People only watch ice hockey to watch people beat the shit out of each other, innit?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
No, if there's a game of ice hockey and there isn't a scrap, no one cares about it, do they? It's just like...
Yeah. Especially
nobody stops it. That's a great...
The ref lets it go. The ref's like, right, let them fight. And as soon as one of them falls over, it's like, right, okay, lads, that's it.
One of them will get tired, right? One of them will get tired.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's your top 5. Dan, give me your top 5 sports.
Yeah, football, cricket, tennis, badminton, and the fifth one maybe basketball.
Basketball. Okay. So a couple that surprised me. Shreyas?
Football, cricket, swimming, badminton, and ice skating.
Ice
Ice
skating?
skating? Where the
Honestly,
fuck is the ice in India? Where's the ice?
Sand
There's
skating.
no ice.
There are ice skating rinks in India.
Where?
Not on the
Where?
outside.
And
Inside
they're all
walls.
melted.
I was gonna say they're just puddles of water at
Yeah.
this point. Like they're just
Walking on water at this point, aren't you? But fair play. I didn't expect badminton, to be honest with you, over 2 years. Mine would be football, 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 and football.
International football.
Yeah.
Top 5. No, definitely that wouldn't be on there. It would be serious. Honestly, it'd be football, wrestling, UFC. I struggle with any others fucking sports, to be honest with you. They don't really interest me. Chuck whatever you want in there. Fucking paddle, badminton. I don't know. Yeah, darts maybe. Yeah, you could chuck in. I was playing darts yesterday. Actually, I don't mind it.
It's not sport.
Well, that's a debate for another day, isn't it?
It's an activity. It's an activity that.
But it is a skill.
It's a skill for sure, but to be a sport, I think you have to be in some sort of athletic shape. And you look at darts players, none of them are in athletic shape. Like not a single one of them. So I'm not.
What about archery? Is archery a sport?
Archery is a sport, yeah.
Activity. It's an activity.
But is it?
No, it's classed as a sport. Archery.
Is it though? Like,
and you're aiming at a target.
You could show up. You could show like you saw. Do you remember the shooting guy for the Olympics who had the hand in his pocket and he was just?
Yeah.
If he's doing it with a hand in his pocket, he's not taking it seriously, is he? And he won a gold medal. Like, so do you know what I mean? He's taking the piss.
What do we think, people who are watching right now? Is darts a sport? Yes or no? There's quite a few of you in the chat, so please just smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And we shall head into the football stuff and go away from badminton and cricket and such things. So, lads, Bryan and Mbeumo, been waiting for some scrap of news on this. It's been a hot minute since we've seen any kind of update. We have had an update today. You can definitely question the journalist. You can definitely question the source, as we all have. Jesus Christ, can't speak. Have we all had? As we all have in the WhatsApp chat. So reports are surfacing basically that the fee for Mbeumo will end up being around £63 million, right? That's what we're looking at. Maybe some add-ons are chucked in there. Number one, Shreyas, is that a fair price? And number two, what would you expect from him coming in? What would your personal expectations, not what maybe this is what get in the Premier League, etc. What do you want from him?
Personal expectations would be, just to see a winger who comes in and hits the ground running, honestly. Because all the signings that we made, in the past few seasons, I don't want that integrating time or bedding in time for them to just, wait for them to click. With Mbeumo, what I feel is, he comes in, he, takes us up a level when it comes to goal scoring, when it comes to, having that sort of clinicalness, and on top of that dynamism when we move into the final third. Just to see us having, more of an edge and more of a bite when we are moving the ball forward.
Yeah, I'm with that. Expectation. Would you expect him to replicate the numbers, Dan, that he's done at Brentford, do you think? Or is that too much?
Yeah, maybe for the first season it's too much because he scored somewhere around 20 goals and 7-8 assists. So I think with United first season, somewhere around 13, 14 goals and assists, 5-6 assists. Just to, contribute to some of the points. At least the target would be, in terms of points, would be more than 70, 80, somewhere around 70. But as a player, I think, somewhere around 13, 14 goals plus 5 assists would be good. And also would like to see finishing, improved finishing as compared to the last seasons in terms of what United players were doing and what he brings in into the team.
Who do you think will be more... Or who would, out of the two, Sam, out of Cunha and Mbeumo, which one would you have preferred?
I liked Cunha for a long time. I think if you add the attitude and the sort of resilience that he has, I like that. I think Mbeumo is quite a chill guy from what I've seen.
One of the reasons why you like NHL.
Oh, yeah. I love a bit of anger. Like
you can see Cunha in NHL, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah. No, he loves to scrap. I could definitely see that left-hand side. You've got Leacher, and you've got Cunha, and then if you put like Ugarte in there, you've just got a South American just sort of fighting bit all along that left hand side, haven't you? They're just going to kick off with somebody, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, I like him a lot, and I think he's done it at a lower level consistently, which shows me a quality player. If you're doing it at a lower level, right, and doing it consistently, if that's a quality player. Not that Mbeumo's not a good player, because he is. What he's done, but they both performed on their overperformed on their XG, which is a concern, because if you're overperforming, that means your actual level is somewhere a bit lower. But even if they drop to say 15 goals each, that's still 30 more goals that we didn't have last year. So where does that put us in the table after we score an extra 30 goals? So I'm happy with that.
I'm interested to see what United fans in general will expect from these two coming in, because if you look at the numbers, they've both overperformed on their XG with Brentford and with Wolves. So for United, even kind of an improvement on what we had. I can't remember what Garnacho ended up with. I know what Højlund and Xerxes had. But just to get that marginal difference in comparison to them, I think just would make such... Not even marginal. Say it's 5-10 goals in it extra towards the team. Some of those games that we've had where it's been a fucking 0-0. Or you think, the Wolves game, ironically enough, where it was just Pablo Sarabia, wasn't it, on a free kick who scored?
Yeah.
And you look at those kind of games and we win that game then.
The final. The Europa League final. Like, if we've got Mbeumo and Cunha on the pitch, we probably create a chance at some point and score. Yeah. And then we probably go on to win that game, because Spurs had nothing. Like, they had nothing in that game, so you probably win that final.
Yeah. Do you just find it weird how it's gone really, really quiet on it? Is there any kind of undercurrent of worry about this deal getting done? Or do you just think maybe it's just a bit of patience by the time and it'll be through the line? Done on the line, should I say?
I think they are still, background, something is still going on. The discussions are still going on just to, discuss what could be the final and last and final bid that can be more accepted by them. So I think, I know that it becomes hard for fans to, kind of go through this process. But if on the other side, if you see that you are just restricting the other team to have upper hand on it, because a couple of seasons back, if you are going for these players, you will definitely end up paying 80-90 million, somewhere around that. So if you are trying to reduce that amount, then definitely it's going to take some more time to finalize the deals. So I think it's going to happen, but it will take some time. But I would like to see him come to the club before the preseason starts, so that he is available just before as any manager would like to have all his players inside the team when they start the preseason, because it has become a culture for United. Like, we keep on doing the business till the end of the season, in end of the kind of the transfer window, and then give the player time in the actual professional games to come and make themselves available in the team. So I hope that this ends up before the preseason starts.
Well, this is where I'm at with it as well, because I'm thinking, okay, well, if there's such a systematic change with Ineos and everything, it still feels very slow and everything's very... And I know people are going to say, have patience and blah, blah, blah. But, we're getting to the end of June now. We're going to be in July before you know it, within the next week. You can't tell me we're going to get 2-3 deals done by then. And we've not even sold anyone yet, have we? As far as I'm aware, we haven't. So we've still got 4, 5, 6 outgoings that need to happen. Any concerns with pre-season? We might not have the players that we want again, because then that'll be a setback surely for Amorim, won't it?
I think it could be, because we've heard, from the manager coming out that he wants most of his signings done by the time pre-season gets in. But we've heard this script every single year with every manager we've had, that they want bulk of their signings done before pre-season starts. And with how Mbeumo is going, maybe it gets done within the week, maybe it gets done in 2 weeks' time. But I still don't think that we'll have another midfielder in, we'll have a keeper in, or probably we'll have another wing back in by the time preseason actually starts. I think best case scenario, we have Cunha and Mbeumo, and maybe Diego Leon. I think that's all we could possibly do. I think the other business that we could do, I think it happens by the time the season actually starts, when it comes to a midfielder, when it comes to another wing back, possibly another you could say a striker as well, still hangs in the balance who we'd be getting in. I think it will take us some time to actually sort through those deals.
So I'm refused to guess now what do you think the front three will be for the start of the season.
Xerxes.
I think it's the
Mbeumo, Cunha.
I can see
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. Don't know why I think the striker's just going to take a bit of time. And that's gone really quiet on that front as well, hasn't it?
I think obviously the plan was Delap and Cunha, wasn't it? That was the plan.
Yeah.
And Delap obviously lost out, and then the whole drama with Jaqueres is a mess. So that might rottle on until the end of like July, August, possibly. And then maybe a move happens towards there. So that might be a bit delayed. So maybe they're focused on getting Mbeumo across the line and then going for sales and sorting that out so they can reinforce other areas. But I saw your clip about you getting frustrated with the lack of activity in the transfer market. And while I agree with how you feel, and I agree with most fans, because we've suffered through nearly 20 years of this bullshit getting transfers wrong, I think you do have to look in context. Like people saying, Liverpool have signed Wirtz and Frimpong, and they're getting Matt Gahey maybe, and City have signed 3 players. But you have to look at it in context. Like City, I've got 115 reasons for why they're able to operate the way they do, and we'll see what happens there. So let's not compare ourselves to City. Liverpool spent nothing last year, like 0. I think they bought Chiesa, didn't they, for like what, 15 million or something like that. They won the league, so that's money, and it's also attraction. They were in the Champions League, so that's money and attraction. And he spent nothing, so that means they could drop 115 million on the Florian Wirtz, who's arguably one of the best players in Europe right now, and they could spend that. And it's more attractive to come to a club who are competing in the Champions League and have won the league and are already set up to be successful. It's not attractive to come to United right now. We don't have the Champions League money, and they know they can bend us over a barrel normally, and we're trying to draw a line in the sand to not have that happen. Because if we were doing that and we were overpaying, we probably would have paid the 70 million for Mbeumo at this point already, because we would have panicked and the pressure would have caved. But now we're like, no, we're not overpaying. And if that takes time and we set a new precedent where we're not overpaying, then I'm happy to wait and be patient. I know most fans won't agree, and they're like, fucking get the signing up, but things have to change, and you have to go one step forward to go 2 steps, 1 step backwards to go 2 steps forward sometimes.
But you mentioned Man City. Man City have signed Ryan Cherky, 8 Nora, and who's the third one? Taji Rangers, right?
Yeah.
That's about 120 mil that they've spent on those players.
Yeah.
When we buy Mbeumo, that'd be the same amount of money. They've just moved quicker. It's not a case they've got more money or anything.
Well, they're reporting that they've got more money than they have. That's why they've got 115 charges.
Well, the money that they've spent, is my point, is only 120.
Yeah. But say we go in for Rangers, they're not quoting us 46 million, are they?
I don't know. Happening. It's hypothetical.
I guarantee it. Like you see any United go for any player, they add 10, 20 million because they know we overpay. They know City don't overpay. So they were able to come to negotiation where they'd be able to pay. Like they walked away from who did they walk? Did they walk away from Florian Wirtz? Was it because they felt it was too much? Yeah. So they've walked away from players before because they were like, we're not paying it. So we've never done that. We've gone, this is the player we're getting, and we just kept going until we reached the price, and then we got him. And I just think that's going to take time to change. And I think City, there's all sorts of financial fuckery going on there. That there's rumours that they got Haaland, what was it, 70 million they paid for him, his release clause? But and he's on a certain wage, but what he's actually getting in offside payments, in consultation fees for his dad, and all this different stuff that's going on, that they're in records, he's actually getting a significantly amount more than what his actual wage is being reported. So there's a lot of fuckery going on at City. So I wouldn't sort of use them as a benchmark, really.
No, I wouldn't personally use them as a benchmark, but other teams as well. Like teams are moving quicker, genuinely knows. We signed one player.
Right, and they move quicker.
Yeah, like there's loads of clubs that have moved quicker. Like I'm not having. I think it's a bit of a cop out to say, oh, these teams have got more money than us, or whatever it is. Like you can get the deals done. They just were so notoriously slow at it, and it hasn't changed even with Ineos that have come in. Like I still think
change the culture. They have to change the culture because the clubs that we're buying from are still expecting us to be the old United, where we're shit at negotiating, we're going to overpay, and we don't know what we're doing. We don't have other targets. That's what they expect, and that's what we're coming up against. They're still expecting that same pattern, and we're trying to break it. So it takes time. Arsenal have only signed one player. And it took, how long did it take to get Zubimendi across the line?
People are fuming about that as well, though. But Arsenal are in a different spot than us. We're a lot more
But
desperate than Arsenal at the minute.
Arsenal are high up, and they're trying to push for a league, and they want to win a league title desperately. And it took them how long to do that Zubimendi deal?
Yeah, and that's bad on them. I'd agree if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be the same thing.
They're a top team and they're struggling. Like they're in the top 2, top 3 every single year, and they're struggling to get transfers. So it's not just United. Like other teams are struggling. Like it's not just United. We've just not got the facilities. Like Brighton are way better at transfers than we are, but the expectation is lower, and they go for different types of players than we do. So they're able to just get deals done and get them through the door. We're trying to compete in that bracket of not the City level and not the Liverpool level of players, because they're just not going to come to us. We're in that next bracket: Villa, Newcastle. Who else would you throw in there? Tottenham, maybe Chelsea. That's the bracket we're fighting in for those type of players.
Dan, I'll bring you in on this. What your thoughts on the window so far? Are you willing to be patient? Just talk to us.
I mean, if I wouldn't know, like by the end of this transfer market, we'll be signing 5-6 players, then I'll be patient. But at this point, it's just the more days we are taking in these deals, then definitely that brings in the that desperation. But I understand the idea. I mean, I hope that is the way it is going on at the backside, because we don't know what is the reason why it is taking that much time for this deal to complete. And I hope that if it is something of changing the culture kind of a thing, then I'm totally up for it, because you have to change this culture of what Glazers have been doing all along till this season. But if that is the case, then definitely it should be good. But on the other side, not only with the incomings but also with the outgoings, I'm still concerned, because you have definite options that needs to go out. With Anthony, I know that deal is, the negotiation is going on, with Garnacho still hanging, and with Rashford still hanging. So these kind of, and Hoyland as well. So these 4 players are kind of a very important players that needs to go out, and still we have not sorted one, because all the, even though if we get Mbeumo, the next player, definitely we have to be dependent on the outgoings, and that only will generate the money for us to do the other businesses there. So if we are not even, unable to do the business for the players who are outgoing, then definitely it's going to drag even more in the coming days. As soon as we get Mbeumo deal confirmed, then again we are still come to at that same place of holding ourselves back by going into buying for the next players. And that's where I'm still concerned more on the outgoings rather than incomings, because we have, even though Mbeumo is almost there, I would rather still consider it is almost done. But the other deals, what happens to the other deals, because the striker position is still hanging. That everything comes down to the outgoings, and it's like more than 100 to 150 million still there inside your club that needs to go out, and that will only generate the money to get the other players. So if it is all about changing the culture, then I'm okay with that. But if it is still going the same thing, then definitely it's a bit concerning.
Dan mentions outgoings there, Shreyas. We had some news on Jadon Sancho coming in a little bit earlier on, saying from Romano and from a few other journalists as well in Turkey. So Romano was putting that Sancho's transfer fee would not be a problem for most clubs, but his salary is too high. He must accept a different salary, otherwise he'll join another club. And then we also had reports coming from Turkey saying Fenerbahce have inquired about Jadon Sancho. Napoli are also in talks, but his wage demands again are too high. This is going to stop this move, innit? Just the wages purely. I can't see any club, whether it's Napoli, Juventus, even clubs in Turkey who are paying like big money. Don't forget, like they brought Osman on. They've been paying Wilfried Zaha. I think Sané's just signed as well for a Turkish club on a big contract, like 10-15 mil a year. So yeah, it falls back to it again. Do you see him at United this season?
And it's not out of the realms of possibility. And I don't know why he doesn't really understand that, his wage demands. If Chelsea cannot meet your wage demands, then probably 90% of Europe cannot meet your wage demands as it is. And he's not a player right now who I would say that, walks into any team in Europe, first. Second, he's not a player who any club would want to take a risk on as a starter choice as well when it comes to left wing. Consider, even for Napoli, I would say, I don't think they should be taking the punt on someone like Sancho, considering the season they've just had, and now that they're going to be in the Champions League. If they want to challenge for the Champions League, if they want to, challenge for Serie A again, and they have the money, there are much better options for them to look at. But if they are looking at him, even he needs to understand that this is the best that it can get for him. Serie A is a league where he will have more time on the ball. It's not as intense, and it is, I would say, physicality wise as well, less tense if you have to compare it to the Prem, and it is much more suited to the way he probably plays. And if he doesn't really make this move to Napoli materialize, I think it's either Saudi or he's going to end up staying at United.
Sam, do you think he sees himself still as one of the best players and maybe being above the Turkish league and being above the Saudi league, and that's why what might also make the move difficult?
I just think it's about the money. It's like if whoever pays his wage, he'll go there. Like that's what it comes down to.
In his head, do you think he thinks he's better than he is, or is a better level? Is what I'm getting at.
I've no idea, because if he had the mentality of he wants to prove himself and he wants to show what he's about, he would have gone to Chelsea and accepted the wage.
Yeah.
Or he would have accepted Napoli's offer or Fenerbache or whoever comes in. That would be his mentality. Like Anthony, I don't think he's right for the team. I don't think he's good enough, but he's got the right mentality. He's willing to take a wage cut to move because he's on stupid wages, but he's willing to take a wage cut to move because he wants to play, which I admire him for. I'm like, good. That helps him get out the door. Sancho's not interested in that. He wants to get the wage paid and he wants to pay for a top club. It's like, you ain't going to get both. You either go to a top European club and you have to take a wage cut, or you go to Saudi and you get your wage. That's your two choices. Like you're not Florian Wirtz. You're not one of these top players in Europe. They're like Ballon d'Or ranked players where you're going to get a top wage at a top club. Like it's not doable. And if he wastes his time during this transfer window and turns down all these clubs because of the wage, we're probably going to end up sending him out on loan again, aren't we? Like that's what's going to happen, because what else can we do? Like you can't release him from his contract because you're going to have to pay up his contract. And what, you're just going to let him sit in the reserves? Like his value is just going to plummet then, isn't it? So it's just like, what do you do if he doesn't choose to go to a club?
It feels like we're fighting a variety of different battles with outgoings at the minute. Like you move over to the goalkeeper situation. Monaco apparently approached Onana's representatives because they wanted to like test the waters and see if they can bring him in as a goalkeeper. But he's turned around and basically said that he wants to stay, he wants to fight for his place, which instantly, the sound that I associate with Onana, which you all know by now, that just gives me chills. The fact that he wants to, I want to fight, I want to be part of the team, I want to be in there. I'm like, no, go. If there's an offer there, if you've got a 1, 2, 3, we don't want you here.
You know what?
With all due respect.
Do you know what fight for my place means? It means the contract that I've got, I'm not getting anywhere else, and I'm not moving unless I get that contract money. That's what it is. Yeah. I'm going to fight for my place because I know if I go to Monaco, what is he on at United?
125k, I think he is. A week.
Like they ain't paying him 125k a week. Nah. Like, it's not happening. So he knows that as well. So he's like, I'm not going to it. But if they came in and we'll pay 150k a week, he'd go because he knows he's not. He's under pressure and scrutiny at United, and United know if a good enough offer came in, they would let him go, and he probably knows that as well.
On Onana, Dan, have you completely washed your hands with him as a goalkeeper? Is he completely done, or is there a way back for him to earn your trust back?
No, man, I've seen a lot from him. I mean, every time I see him make a mistake, it's like it's just piling up. So it has crossed the threshold now. But to be honest, if you see from his angles, if he's saying like he wants to fight here, then definitely he's not up for fight against Bayern, because you know that Bayern is still not at that level. So with whom you're fighting. So that's when he also knows that if he's there in the club, then definitely United will not go for any other kind of a first position goalkeeper. So then definitely that itself makes his position more secure to stay in the in this club. So it's for our fans. It's making more hard for us to pass by, because every time he receives the ball, the fans are like more, kind of in a very scary mode to see. And like every time he receives the ball, it's becoming more scarier and scarier. Yeah. So, but he should know that when the club, what the fan feels about him, and he has. The fans have seen a lot of him, because when he came to the club, he was at his peak of his career, and even most of us were okay with that because the type of player he was, the type of goalkeeper he was, the saves and that leadership quality from the back, that what we needed at that time. But now with the few seasons, we have seen that he's not that person, which is benefiting us in any way, rather than making more mistakes than what De Gea did in his whole career at United. So then itself says a lot about him. But at this point, when it comes to the transfer, I think it's a very scarier thing to hear from Onana. Saying that he still wants to stay here and fight for his place. Even Hoyland has said the same thing, and that again itself is another thing. Any player, when they are put in the market, they should know that the fans and the club don't want them to stay here. But then, what's the point of proving them wrong? And but at the same time, goalkeeper would be the last actual position for me to shift, rather than, if you give me an option between a striker and a goalkeeper, I will definitely go towards the striker thing. So let's sort the other things around first, and then we can come back to the goalkeeper situation.
Interesting. Right, let's see what everyone else is saying, because there's loads in the chat. Nearly 1,000 views whilst we're live, which is incredible. Please do smash that like button for us whilst you're with us, and subscribe to the channel. 17,282 subs we're on at the minute, so it's pushing towards 20,000, which is also incredible. Right, people, let's see what you were saying. Alan Wilkinson, let Sancho go. Anthony and Marcus Bayern, and Juve are on alert for Sancho, Napoli too, but want Nico Williams. Ogre Benny says City bought 4 players January window. They bought another 4 players already. We bought 1 in Dorgu and bought 1 again. Do you want to reply to that, Sam?
Well, what's the money situation at United and what's the money situation at City? Like, are they $1 billion in debt? No. Are they cheating and funneling money into other things from sponsorships that just conveniently are owned by the same people who own the club? Yeah. Are we doing that? No. That pretty much sums it up. Why were they able to do that?
I just banged the table and it looked like I was in an earthquake again. I did that the other day. Apologies. James McGoggin, if Sancho doesn't play, he's going to have to think of a career. Right, I'm not reading that out. Debasis Gandea says he has to fight after all. No one else will pay him those juicy wages. Spot on.
There you go.
B-Stress says, has the Mbeumo money agreed? No, not yet. Not yet. But a report surfacing of the actual fee. That's what we're going live with. Can I ask who is Onana fighting with that number 1 jersey for exactly?
Just himself.
Yeah, anyone at this point. Just on Bayern Day, Shreyas, reports again coming in. United are expected to move for a new backup goalkeeper if Bayern Day secures a move away. So that's 2 keepers that we've got to try and move on, and then another 2 keepers that we've got to try kind of bring in. That second spot, obviously it's not a prime position, we all know that, but should it be at least looked at, considering some of Bayern Day's performances, which, bar from Arsenal in the FA Cup, I think it was.
He had some mistakes.
Darmiton would be nobody's talking about.
Yeah. That Arsenal game, he had some mistakes as well. Like, I know he was the hero in the end, but he did make some mistakes as well. So
the Newcastle game weren't much better either, was it, Shreyas? Do you remember? Was it between his hands and he got kicked out? I can't remember which game it was, but
Spurs game.
So dodgy.
Spurs game where him and Forrester basically competing for the worst goalkeeper.
The game against Villa as well, he was quite shaky.
Yeah.
So, look, I think right now if Onana ends up staying and we go in for another second choice keeper, that second choice keeper might end up becoming our first choice. So whoever we actually end up going for, we need to be very careful that they're at least a little competent when it comes to shot stopping at least. Take distribution out of the window, take everything else out of the window, but at least claiming the ball through crosses and
catch the ball.
Yeah, just catch the ball, to be very honest with you.
Yeah.
That Vaseline on his gloves. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Vaseline on his gloves.
Crazy.
But we desperately, need to take a very, very careful look at this position, because we can, bring in the likes of Ederson, bring in the likes of Gyökeres and every single one of these players, and have a very competent lineup. But if we have someone like Onana in net, and if the opposition team is just taking, corners, set pieces, and just, shots from miles out, and then the rebound just falls to a midfielder making a late run into the box and they end up scoring, it's not really going to help our case. So I think goalkeeper desperately, we need to look at it, because last season, by the end of it, we were desperately struggling. Because even in the final, we didn't really even know who should we even start, Onana or Bayern.
Yeah, and you can't
Either
have
of those options didn't. Yeah, you at least need to have one keeper you have, some sort of trust in.
And also, what are the daily? Go on, Dan.
Yeah, go on. Yeah. I'm still okay with, having Tom Hinton as my second goalkeeper.
Yeah, new goalkeeper. What's it? 3-year contract. Well, oh, it's not 3 years, but we've just given him a new contract, haven't we? Is it 1 year extension?
Yeah.
It just seems like a nice lad to have around. I think that's why they kind of.
Yeah.
You see him sound whenever there's an interview with him. He's like, yeah, it's Tom. It's good old Tom, kind of. But I remember there was a little bit of a push to say, why not? Let's just try him. And he played a game. I can't remember who it was against, and he didn't look great. And he was like, well, what do we do now then? Because we've got 3 goalkeepers who are all got some weird kind of deficiency in the game.
Do you know what's mad? Like, Chelsea are in desperate need for a goalie, and they weren't willing to sign Mike Mannion for, 20 mil?
Yeah.
And he's still there. Why are we not looking at
Chelsea have
like,
already got, I think they've already got like 9 or 11 keepers on their payroll.
Yeah, but they don't like any of them. Like, all of them are shit.
Yeah.
All of them are shit. And it's just like, they're not willing to do 20 million. Like, just go get him for like 20 million. Like, sort it out.
Maybe they're thinking like Milan goalkeeper,
Italian
can't make this, can't make that same mistake again with like we did with Onana. I don't think there is a goalkeeper out there, but I absolutely put my money on and say he'll come in and he'll do really, really well. It feels like a risk with a lot of things. Where with Cunha and Mbeumo coming in, at least it's kind of that. Any transfer can fail, but at least it's got that bit of they've just done it in the Prem. 20 goals, 15 goals, like they've shown they can do it. So there's more trust with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, should we get into the Q&A, Sam? The questions?
Yeah. So I went on socials, and you guys in the chat as well. There's a question bit at the top, so if you want to submit your questions in there, get them in, or just put them in the chat and I'll find them. So
I've got good questions as well.
I've got from don't ask me what my favorite color is and stuff like that, because
it's black.
It's not actually, but there you go.
Oh, it's green.
Yeah. So
sorry.
It is green. There you go.
There
you go. He remembered. Right, so these are from Instagram. So some of these names I can't pronounce, so I'm sorry. Like I'm just gonna not butcher them. Do we need a midfielder more than we need a goalkeeper? Like,
no.
Maybe we've got a lot of questions, so let's not like go off on tangents if we can.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
Shreyas has started off beautifully. He just went no.
Yeah, no. Cool.
No.
Right.
Do we need what? Say it. Which way was it?
Do we need a midfielder more than we need a goalkeeper?
No.
That's a good question.
He's at a crisis here.
I know what everyone's saying about the goalkeeper because we literally just spoken about it, right? But we desperately need a midfielder as well.
But we even need a keeper.
We need both. That's what I mean. We really need both. But yeah, I'll go goalkeeper. I don't want to be that awkward guy.
I think midfielder. I think
it's close.
I've said it for so many weeks now. Like, we're so desperate for a midfielder. I don't know how many times I could talk to Shreyas about Steeler and Stash. Like, I don't know how many times I can talk about it, but yeah.
I mean, if you ask me, like, give me an option, then I would rather say, like, bringing a goalkeeper can make more difference as bringing a midfielder at this point, because we have kind of a decent options for midfielders, but for goalkeepers, we are still not at that pace.
Yeah. How many points does Amrin have to get from his first 10 games to stay? Considering we've got Liverpool, Arsenal, City in 3 of those games. Chelsea as well, yeah.
Be 18, somewhere around 18.
18 points.
So out of 10 games, I want something of a record like 5 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. Something like that. I would take. I think that's if it ends up being 5 losses, 3 draws, and 1 win, it's gonna be tough. He's gone. Let's be honest.
I think 18, 19 points is fair.
Yeah. Will we get 18, 19 points, Sam? That's a different conversation.
I don't know. What I want to add on to that, I want to see performances as well. Like, I want to see good performances. Like, if we lose, say we lose to Liverpool, I can sort of I can't deal with that. It'll hurt me deeply inside. But you can understand that best team in the league at the minute, and a great team in Europe, and you've just bought 2 of the best players in Europe as well. So you can understand it. So if you get beat by them, but I want to see fight in the loss to it. I don't want to see us capitulate and just get battered. I don't want to see that. So that's another thing I'd like to see. Is 2028 a realistic timeline to win and compete for the Premier League, or is it optimistic at best? This is obviously off the Omer Barada interview with Andy Mitten. If you haven't seen it, go by United We Stand and check it out because it's a fucking great interview. And then somebody on Twitter asked a very similar question. Sid the Whistle, I think he might be in the chat. If we had to believe Omer Barada in his interview with Andy Mitten, how long are you willing to wait to trust the process? So, how long are you guys willing to wait? Are you willing to wait till 2028, or do you think 2028 is too optimistic in terms of challenging or winning something?
This was the no-brainer. This was the banker. This was the one that couldn't fail. This was one that's never failed.
I think that is wildly optimistic to say you're going to win the Premier League by 2028. Genuinely, I think top four, Champions League. How long?
How long?
How long have you fucking got, mate?
For you personally, like how long before?
How many windows are there till 2028?
It's 2026 next year, so there's 2 there. It's 227, and then
4 to 7.
4 windows. 4 windows.
Yeah.
I think 2030 would be more realistic.
Yeah. For me.
Yeah.
But still on that. Yeah, but I would like to see a kind of yeah.
Like we can't be just middling until 2030.
No. Just have like a one Leicester season, and then we just fucking drop that down
exactly.
again. No, none of that.
Yeah, right. Next question. What signings would convince you to finish in the top 4? So say Mbeumo gets over the line. We've got Cunha and Mbeumo. What other signings are going to convince you that we can get top 4?
The top 4.
I'll say top 5. Top 5. Say top 5 because it's top 5 last year for Champions League.
That's a big gap to close, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, how many points was we? Let's have a look at the Premier League table. See how many points we was
25 points.
Jesus Christ, was it?
I think it was that big. I'm pretty sure.
Goodness gracious me. So yeah, we got 42 points, and Newcastle had 66.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, 24 points off.
Yeah.
Off the top 5. Okay,
1 point away. I was 1 point away.
That's like 8 wins or something. 8 or 9
yeah.
wins. That's a lot of ground to make up in it. So yeah.
Do you not remember December when we didn't win a game? We just fucking lost.
We all want to forget December. We don't want to remember it. We want to forget it as much as we can. That was one of the worst months in my life supporting Man United. If someone said to me, right, you sign these players, I think you get it. Can we go off players who have already been signed or players who are available right now? You can decide.
Players available right now.
If we got Osman,
if you've got names as well, chuck them in.
If we got Osman and Mbeumo, Cunha, Edison, and a really good goalkeeper, I think we could push for it.
Yeah, kind of the same answer for me as well.
I think it's for me. I think if Cunha's already in, and Mbeumo gets in.
Yeah.
If one of Osimhen or Gyökeres come in, Edison or I would say someone like Barrios, and we sign someone like a Trubin, someone. I'm not saying that he needs to be a world class goalkeeper, but at least someone who can come in and at least
boring. Give me a boring goalie, please.
Exactly. So we'll just take that, and if we can cover those areas, goalkeeper, midfield, as well as a wing back, then we have a shot of pushing it into top 5.
Yeah. Same for me. I mean, kind of Osimhen kind of a striker, and maybe one defensive midfielder and one proper goalkeeper, decent goalkeeper that we should be fighting for somewhere around 6th, 7th, or 5th. Yeah.
Does everyone agree with that? Or if you disagree with us, let us know in the chat.
Alternatives potentially available, or even short-term loans for striker.
Oh, that's a good question.
I would say Gonzalo Ramos, Dan's favourite player. I would definitely say he's not going to play at PSG, is he? Like, he's just not like Dembele and stuff like that. And I think a short-term
his performance has been a bit shaky.
Yay! There you go. There you go. But yeah, any short-term loans for striker?
Shreyas, hold on a second. Was that you? Have you just farted? Have I just heard someone fart? Are you sure?
You heard a fart?
I just heard a fart, and Shreyas went. So I thought I automatically assumed it was you. Sorry, I must be hearing things.
The one we did with Ramos.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's sorry, I'm dragging this way off topic. Loans. Who's
Loans for
available on
strikers.
loan? Morata, Shreyas.
No. Let's not do this. He has got, by the
Just
way, he's got the
missed it.
world's greatest agent as a
Yeah.
Morata. Jesus Christ. Juventus, Madrid, Chelsea, Milan. Like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Done it all. He's done it all.
Come on.
Who's even available is the question.
Well, just say, like, they might
Jonathan
not be
David.
on the list.
I don't like him, but he's probably the best option you got on loan.
He's available.
at the
He's
minute.
available.
Sorloth.
There you go. There's one. Dan.
I have no one in my mind. Just get the permanent deal in.
Okay. All right.
Fair enough.
Do we think? What do we think? Will we see anything of Diego Leon this season? I know the deal's getting completed in it, like shortly, like this month or something like that. Do you think we'll see him? Or do you think it's too early?
I think preseason will be a better way for us to actually assess how far along he is. I think physicality-wise, he might be up there, but will he be able to fare up when it comes to the intensity of the league? I think once preseason gets completed, we'll know more as to how much we actually need to invest in that wing-back position, because we've got options right now, but are they good enough for us to make it into the top 8 or top 6?
I think Diego Leon is. I think they've specifically bought him because his intensity, speed, and strength suits the Premier League. I think it's one of the main reasons why they've gone and got him. But he's very young, and the league that he's in South America in comparison to the Prem is fucking miles apart. So my expectations are at the floor at the minute. I'm expecting him to come in, train with the squad, maybe go out on loan. But if he hits the ground running, then great, because we need competition at wing back, don't we?
Either him or Amas is going on loan, aren't they? One of them is going to go on loan, and then one of them will stick around as a second choice. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Dan?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you then have to see like how you are going to play out with the other options here. Already we have a couple of them. Is Malaysia still there or he's gone?
Yeah.
He's gone.
He's technically still here, but he'll go. He'll definitely leave.
Yeah, then you have to sort that thing also. So I mean, yeah, to be honest, then again we have the options in Amas. So definitely you cannot keep both of them here. So at least you have to keep only one option for the backup role for left back, because you then again have Luke Shaw also as an last option. So I think one has to go out on loan.
Can I Luke Shaw as well? Jesus. We've got so many players that we'd get rid of, haven't we?
I honestly forgot we had Luke Shaw.
Fucking stocking him up.
It's just like we've had so many. Like, when was the last time we had a quality left back? Like, what was the last time?
Evra.
Who was available?
Evra.
Yeah, who's available? Like,
Yeah, it would have been
consistently.
Evra, wouldn't it?
It feels like
Evra.
Dennis Irwin, Patrice Evra, and then nobody. Like,
Yeah.
we just fucking died a death.
Same
on
with
that
right
thing.
back though. How many good right backs have we had?
Gary Neville,
2.
and then Valencia. Could you
Yeah.
count as good?
Yeah. Valencia's decent. Yeah. Captain's United as well, obviously, didn't he, Valencia?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
how
weird,
have we
isn't it?
not had any fullbacks there ever? Like,
It is mad. I think wing back's another position as well that we definitely need to look at. But we've got T2 saying if we nail 3 summer windows, competing in 2028 isn't mental. That's 3 hit signings per window. But the odds for hits in transfer market are so like.
you've
You know
also
what I mean?
Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Villa. They're all going to be going for similar players, and they've had about a 10-year head start on us as well. So you need them to fail with signings and go down as well. Which how likely is that? Like, it's not very
And
likely.
simultaneously, you need to have Amorim to actually work at United as well, because if he doesn't work and we have another change in between, then going to be a same situation as to what happened with Ten Hag.
Yeah.
What a nice, positive way to end the show, eh? Love that. John Hominy says, Wes Brown 08 was good. Yeah, look, these decent level wing-backs you can argue with.
He wasn't a right back. He was just technically a centre back. But
Did both, didn't he?
Yeah, I get your point. Yeah.
He played in both.
I like Wes Brown. I do.
Yeah.
Ashley Young played there. Did all right. He did all right, didn't he?
But Ashley Young, when he was at left back, he was just cutting in all the fucking time. He just knew what he was going to do. Cutting, thing, like...
Lindelof played right back for us.
Oh,
Don't
Jesus.
start.
Do you remember that Ralph Ragnick game? Do you remember
Don't
that?
start.
We were doing the watch along, and then we looked at it and went, Is that Lindelof at right back? Like, what the fuck?
Fucking Victor
Why is he
Lindelof.
playing it?
And the goal
Ralph,
came from his side as well, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ralph, what are you doing? What are you
I think it
doing?
was Loaded, the Brazilian left back, bombed
Yeah.
down, beat him, crossed
Yeah.
into João Felix.
Yeah.
João Felix scored,
No.
didn't it? But we've
On-
had Amrabat, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof all play at wing back for us.
Bruno,
What the fuck?
Bruno played there.
Didn't Ericsson or Anthony?
Anthony played there.
Anthony was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And-
Anthony
Yeah.
played there. And he was
Mate.
upset about it, and then Bruno told him to shut the fuck up for
Yeah.
whinging for
Like,
playing
do
there.
a job in it.
Do you remember as well that when Malacia got back and who was it he got done by in Europa League and you're just like, oh god.
Yeah, it was
He's
the
not
Bodo Glimt game.
Photo glimpse.
Yeah, he just got destroyed, didn't he? On that, he's just like, yeah, he's not.
And
he's not
there was a
going back.
clip of him. Someone did it in slow mo where he's he's chasing the player, and you could just see him behind him like that, trying to keep up, and he was just no way near him. Yeah, he's another one that needs to be sold. Honestly, there's about 15 players, 10 to 15 players that you would get rid of. So
Yeah.
get cracking, United. We want to see some signings. We want to see some people leaving, and hopefully we start to see a bit of traction with that. For any updates at all, Instagram and X, for any transfer news updates, news just related to United in general. It could be something about a protest, it could be something about an article, anything at all. Drop us a follow, Real Reds Talk on socials. Please do subscribe as well. We are 12 off 17,300. So if there's anyone new and you've enjoyed the show and you want to be a regular, come and join us. And also, I'm just about to film a members video after this as well. So if you want to become a member, click the join button next to the notification bell and just become Real Red Ultra. Cost about £2-3 a month or something. Just support the channel.
We've got 2 guests hopefully this week. So Alice Talks Football be on this week, and then I've spoken to Sporting Sam, the Sporting fan as well. So we need to sort out a date for him to get him back on, because I'd be interested to hear his opinion on Amarin's first season, the Gyökeres drama, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that'll
But
be
he's sat there like that, isn't he? Sporting Sam like, fuck you, Ruben. Bit of saltiness there, but we'll find out at some point. My members video I'm doing is going to be reacting to some Sunday League moments, some funny Sunday League moments. So a little bit of a different video, but just for you members, guys. If you want to become a member, click the join button. And me, Sam, Dan, and Shreyas, we'll see you guys tomorrow.